Yo, so something you mentioned right now that seemed to bring a lot of two specific ideas to mind. What was it you were mentioning? It's gotta be like this.
Or the other way.
Damn.
Oh, it's gotta be like this.
Who wants you to do it like this? Fucking shit.
Alright, so
Let's have it here.
Alright, so what I was saying is that every time we make a decision, we step into a parallel reality. So let's say this morning we had like a great morning routine, we went out for a jog, we said our affirmations, and if we had started that out differently, our reality right now going to the mall would be very different. And so every single time that you make a choice, that you make a decision, just tell yourself that you're going towards the actual higher reality, or the reality that you prefer of a parallel existence, or parallel, not a parallel universe, but just a parallel reality to the one that you had. So every single moment
Is a parallel universe.
is a parallel universe, a parallel reality. Yeah.
So, what we did last night was we got on our phone, we put the timer, and we set a schedule based on a timer, right? And every time that a new task had to be finished and had to be done, the timer would go off. So, let's say I'm like, all right, wake up at this time and be done with your affirmations, be done with your morning meditation, be done with your visualization, get all of that done quickly within a certain time, and then be out of the room, be ready, and let's go cut fruits, prepare the fruit for later, so we don't have to eat. And then it cools off, put it in the fridge, and then all right, we're ready, boom, we blast off, we take off, finish the workout, time is up, boom, next task, right?
Yeah, it's amazing how the first alarm in the morning was also an affirmation. So it's like, mine was money sticks to me, like glue, his was money flows to me easily and freely, right? So,
so your alarm clock, whatever, if you can put an alarm on your phone for when you wake up, make sure it says something amazing that's gonna brighten your day. Like, tell me how that good that's working out for you right now, where it's like, all right, I gotta wake up at 6 a.m. Oh, I slept at 12 because I was on Netflix, or maybe you weren't, maybe you just with your friend, and now I'm being judgy, right?
Or Hulu, no hate on Hulu too.
and then you're like, and then you look at the phone and it says alarm. Dude, what up? Turn off.
I know, because think about it. An alarm is alarming. You get what I'm saying? An alarm is gonna wake you up in a state of panic.
Dude.
What? They're fire alarms, right?
It fires up the amygdala.
Right, absolutely. There's fire alarms. There's alarms for, like, let's say, like when you break into somewhere, or like security alarms.
What
There's
usually
so many-
happens? Fear.
Fear kicks in. Yeah.
That's what the amygdala part
You
of
were
the brain
talking
does.
about this today, man, about the sound. How you were saying like different sounds trigger different memories, and like you told me to imagine like a train passing by, or a plane like landing, or like different noises. Yeah.
So essentially, imagine the sound of a train. Imagine it. It's coming down the track. It's got the choo-choo sound on the tracks. Like it just swooshes by, right? You can hear that.
Right.
Now, if you've never, actually, let me expand it a little bit longer. You can hear the sound of a honk horn. You understand what that is. You understand what the sound of your parents' voices. You understand what the sound of your voice is, right? So, when you think about your thoughts, and when you think your thoughts and you can hear your thoughts, you know, some people, they say that's the fourth dimension. I totally agree with them, right? And others would explain it in a more scientific way, which is also very valid, and it says that the sounds that we have heard before, you can only hear a sound in your head if you've heard it before.
Yeah.
You can't make up sounds. Actually, you can make up sounds. Actually, all sounds are made up.
Yeah, exactly.
So that just means that I didn't get my point across so effectively as I'd like. Yeah, bro, passing the phone back to you.
So thoughts essentially is ideas and associations. So what are the associations that you have for waking up? Maybe you tell yourself, I'm not a morning person, or something like that. I know I did. Absolutely, I'm a night owl for sure. But telling myself that I'm not a morning person is getting me up later in the afternoons. Now, you really want to silence your inner critic to the point of where you can make it more malleable and allow for it to only add pressure to you when you really truly need it. So summoning your inner critic only when you actually require that it comes out, because sometimes your mind needs to be critical. But in those moments that's actually ineffectively holding you back, maybe you want to have a nicer voice in your head. Maybe you just want to have Mrs. Gertrude from your kindergarten class talking to you in your mind instead of, Danny DeVito, the not the actor, but Danny DiCaprio. Let's just make up a random name, all right? Danny DiCaprio, who's like a drill sergeant.
I thought his name was Johnny DiCaprio.
Yeah. Bro, we're making up the character. Anyway, okay, anyway.
This is random.
Johnny DiCaprio, the drill sergeant in your mind who's saying, you have to do this, where it's like, no, I get to do this. I choose to do this. I don't have to, Danny. You know what I mean? So, similarly, you want your inner critic to come out when you're actually critically analyzing information or like breaking things down and decrypting stuff, not when it's at the byproduct of just like life happening to you. And essentially it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Am I right, Ivan?
Totally, there's a story that comes to mind. I don't think people are prepared to hear this. But you know what? I'm going to say it anyway.
Tell them anyway.
And now this is the story of...
Don't tell.
It's actually I'm not gonna. It's like it's a shitty story, and you're gonna know what I mean. So basically, there's a guy. He's on the toilet, right? And he's constipated. He's struggling to go, right? And now his stomach and bowels are starting to hurt, and he's like trying to push it out. It's not coming out.
Even you this morning.
Bro, I was trying to hide it. It's just a story. So basically, he then goes, he's thinking to himself, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And
why is he pooping?
And then he realizes he's asking himself, why is this happening to me? Let me switch it and say, what can I learn from this? When terrible things are happening to you, it's very easy to just say, why is this happening to me? Oh, don't do this to me now. Don't do this to me now. Right? And you see it as something that's tough, but instead, focus. This is the law of manifestation, very simplified. Focus on something different, and you will get that result, right? If you set in your mind, how can I learn from this? You'll begin to process the world through a different lens.
A fresh pair of eyes, man.
And then, so the story goes that he says to his spirit guides, he calls them. He says, God's spirit guides and archangels, as he's sitting on the toilet, constipated. If you can help me in this time, I ask it that you please interrupt and guide me. Next thing you know, I had a digital download from the universe, right? What happened was, I got this message that said, make the ohms. And I was like, Om, Om, Om. It's very soothing. And actually, that helped the person that was constipated let go and relax their whole body through a sound that they made. And the sound that you made with your throat, you move that energy down. The best way to do an Om is to do it really deep. Well, what is the frequency of the Om? Is it of the universe?
It's of the universe.
It's the frequency of the universe, the Om, right? And extend the M. It's very critical that you go Om instead of Om or Om. Go Om. And that actually creates energy in your throat. And you actually, when you gain to have power over your body, you can send the energy to different parts of the body. It's very, very interesting. I call it hacking into the matrix. Ooh, savages. Savages. These people are savages.
You mean you're savage, bro?
Oh, bro, I swear I'm fucking hilarious. You ever met a genius that was so hilarious like me? Probably not.
Hilarious?
Hilarious? You ever someone as hilarious as me?
Hilarious.
Skirt, skirt. Alright guys, peace out.